Okay, welcome to Weekly Meeple Chat, Week 5. The last game we're going to do this week is Bang the Dice game. What makes this interesting is that beer can heal wounds.
Oh, doesn't it heal all wounds, though? Come on now.
And this is why I couldn't use it in the classroom for that reason.
No, you could
But
not.
it's great for
party.
For party casual gamers.
Yes.
So let's go over some of the stats here. So it came out in 2013. It's ages 8 and up, 3 to 8 players, 15 minutes. The overall rating is a 7 out of 10. Overall rank is 446 out of over 15,000 games, and the party rank is 39 out of 485, and that's quite deserves that rank.
Oh, definitely.
And in fact, we only played it one time, and the boys wanted to play it again, but I says, no, we got to play some other games for this video, this week's videos.
Right.
So they wanted to play it again.
You did.
So let's go over how you play.
Okay.
All right, so this is a setup for 5 players. And the way the rulebook describes it, there will be a sheriff, a deputy, a renegade, and 2 outlaws. And they'll have up to 2 deputies, 2 renegades, and 3 outlaws if you play with all 8. And there's special rules for 3 players. So the only player that's going to reveal who they are is the sheriff. So the sheriff won't know who, or the other players won't know who's who. Now that's important because whoever the sheriff is, the sheriff gets 8 life points here. Normally, so each character gets a role and then a character, and whoever the sheriff is going to get 2 additional life points, which is kept track with these bullets. So the sheriff goes first, and the sheriff will have 8 plus 2 life points. And so each character will have a special ability. So this says here you can make dice that are 1s, 2s, or vice versa, and I'll explain what that means in a minute. So the sheriff will go first and roll these 5 dice. And you can roll them up to 3 times. So they can keep a beer to heal, but since the sheriff is starting the game, there's no reason to keep that. When you roll an arrow, that means Indians attack. So that must be resolved immediately. So the sheriff gets 1 arrow on her card. Now, the sheriff can keep this 1 here to hit the player to the right. Now, if this was in a circle, this player would be on the player's left. But the sheriff doesn't know who the deputy is, so they're kind of a disadvantage in the beginning of the game. But let's say they want to re-roll these dice and keep the Gatling guns, and I'll explain what that is in a minute. So they can roll it up to 2 more times. Now, dynamites cannot be re-rolled. And so they're trying to get a 3rd Gatling gun, so they're going to roll 1 more time, their last time. And they did not get it, but they did get another arrow. So this means the player must hit somebody 2 spaces away. Now the sheriff is guessing at this point because the sheriff does not know who the deputy is. So they're going to guess and either hit this person or this person because it's a circle. So they're going to hit this person, so this person would lose a bullet. Now, they might have some abilities that can prevent certain things, but we're not going to go over that right now. Now, let's say the sheriff did roll the Gatling gun. That means every player would get hit by the Gatling gun. They would each lose a bullet, and the sheriff, having rolled that, would lose all arrows. Now, why are the arrows important? Because as soon as somebody rolls the last arrow, I'm sorry, there's 1 left. So let's say this player's rolling, and they rolled an arrow. They take the last one, and now everybody gets hit by the Indian attack. They lose 3, 2, 1, and 3. And some characters have abilities that protect them from arrows. So beer can heal yourself or heal another player of your choice. And again, you have to pay attention to how far away players are. So if you roll a 2, you have to hit somebody 2 spaces away from you, or if you roll 1 space away. So you keep on playing until the sheriff is dead. And the deputy is supposed to protect the sheriff. And usually the sheriff will figure out who the deputy is after the 2nd or 3rd turn. Now the renegade is like the Clint Eastwood character from the spaghetti westerns. The renegade wants everybody dead. The renegade only wins when everybody dies. So the renegade is going to try to protect the sheriff at first. And the outlaws will win as a team if they kill the sheriff. The deputy only wins if the sheriff survives. So these 2 are a team, these 2 are a team, and the renegade is basically going to be with them until the very end when he or she will take them out as well. So let's take a look at the playback
Okay.
and see how it developed with 6 players.
Yeah, this was fun. We hadn't played with 6 players in a while.
Yeah.
And I got to be the sheriff. I was very excited
So Julie rolled first.
because I was a sheriff.
Right. Oh, by the way, if you roll 3 dynamites, you lose a life and your turn ends.
Oh, okay.
So I forgot to say that. So it's 6 players, which is what we're playing. There's 1 sheriff, 1 renegade, 3 outlaws, and 1 deputy.
Ah. And I have to admit, after the first round, I knew immediately that David Jr. was my deputy. I think it was a mother's instinct, but I knew he was my deputy.
So it's kind of hard to go first as the sheriff because you don't know who to hit.
True.
So Austin. Rolled an arrow. Now he can decide to roll that die or not. And by the way, one rule is that, except for the dynamites, if you did save a die from the first turn, you can still re-roll that die on the 3rd turn.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. That's cool.
Except for dynamite. So I'm looking
Except
up a
for
rule
dynamite.
here. So Julie got hit by Austin. So Julie knows now, being the sheriff, that Austin is not
No.
the deputy. Now Brandon's going.
And I get pounded by it. I think Eddie is the one that pounds me the most and makes me die.
So Brandon kept a die. And he's re-rolling again, so he got an arrow. Now he's deciding what to keep and what to re-roll. So it's hard to tell what he's going for. Oh, he's rolling dynamite, unfortunately.
Oh,
So he has to keep those 2 dice.
Darn.
So he's deciding, is he going to chance it here? Now, you could stop. You don't have to roll 3 times if you don't want to.
He got another arrow.
And then he has to decide what to do with the other dice he has.
Right.
Oh, he rolled a dynamite. That's why he lost a life.
Oh, okay.
Now, David, you don't know he's the deputy for sure. But the deputy, he can roll beer and heal you.
Right. Well, I knew he was because he didn't hit me. And maybe he did. No, I don't think he hit me. And all I did was just look at him and said, "Are you my deputy?" And he just kind of gave me a look, and I knew in his eyes. So I knew he
Eddie,
was on my side.
He just rolled 3 ones.
Oh,
And he's going to keep them.
you got a dynamite.
He got 4 ones. Who's he going to hit? Either he hits David 4 times.
And he hit me.
That's because his character ability. No, did he roll a 2 there? I think he did. So he hit David 3 times and he hit Julie once. So we know that Eddie is likely an outlaw.
What a way to treat your mother,
So let's see what
Sheesh.
happens by the end of the game here.
Okay. This was a lot of fun. And it did go really fast, if I remember correctly.
Right. So Julie, you don't have hardly any life yet. You're getting pounded pretty bad.
Oh, yeah. They're ready to wipe me out. Eddie
and
just
see,
shot
Eddie
me
just
again,
shot you.
and he killed me.
Yep.
Oh, no. Oh, I get 1 life.
Okay, I think I'm going to kill you.
I'm barely in
because
there.
I'm an outlaw.
I'm barely in.
So I just stopped there. I don't even keep on rolling. I
And
didn't kill
that's it.
I'm an outlaw. Eddie's an outlaw. Osman's an outlaw. And to see Brandon, I said, Brandon, you were a renegade. You were supposed to be going after not going after the sheriff. So Brandon, being the first time he played, he really didn't understand that the renegade should have been helping you.
Well,
So it
I
is what it
struggled
is.
in the beginning of who did what. Unless you were
Right.
the sheriff, that's the only one I got in the deputy. Everyone else I would get confused about.
All right, so let's talk about what we liked about it. Go ahead.
Okay, definitely the push your luck of rolling the dice and, knowing you could stop any time, but you still want to see if you can get more bullets to get more people. It is a fun theme. I think it's really funny. More people you play, the more fun I think it is.
Yes, definitely.
And it is very fast to play. Like David said, it's like 10, 15 minutes at the most, I think, depending on how many people there are. And I love rolling the dice. You guys know me and my dice. I love it.
Yeah, you love dice games.
I do love dice games.
So let's see what I thought about it. It's super fast. I love the spaghetti western theme. If you notice on the card that I showed on camera, it had it in Italian and English, and that's done on purpose. So it adds push your luck, which is unlike the original card game. This is with the dice. It's definitely more of a factor. So it's more satisfying than the card game version. So we own all the expansions for the card game, and we will play this one now more than the card game
Right.
because there's just a lot of little rules to remember, and it takes more effort to play.
True.
But it can be unfair So if you're the sheriff and you get unlucky in the turn order, and if somebody rolls real well, you can get taken out very quickly.
And that happened to me. It only took, 4 rounds?
That was 3 rounds. But no,
3
we've had it
rounds?
happen in the first round if you get really unlucky.
Oh, yeah.
So it can happen. But if knowing that going into it,
You just-
don't take it goes quickly, you just do
Absolutely.
another round.
You just play for fun. It's not, you're just enjoying being with your family and friends. That's all that matters.
All right, so let's talk about how we rated it.
Okay.
So we've played it 6 times since we've been keeping track. Basically, a year ago, because this came out about a year ago. It hasn't been out that long, or we bought it about
Yeah,
that
we
time.
bought it. You're
Yeah,
right.
and so I give it an 8. I would recommend getting it, especially if you have a lot of people you can play with.
And I gave it a 7 because I am usually willing to play it because it is fun. And if they say you want to roll some dice, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So I have to admit there are times I do need a little extra help on what exactly I'm supposed to be doing. But for the most part,
That's because we don't play it often enough. That's why
Right.
you need reminders.
True.
And so, but you'd rather play this over the card game, right?
Yes, I find this one easier for me to comprehend than the card game. The card
Right.
game is just too much going on and this and that it very confusing.
Right. So anyway, that's Bang the Dice Game. We highly recommend it. And if you've been watching our videos, please subscribe and
Yes.
hit the like button, and we appreciate that.
Thank you very much for watching. I hope you all have a great rest of your Sunday. Take care. Or
Right.
rest of your week even.
Yes,
Bye.
exactly. All right, bye-bye.